£500,000? That figure's going to be different for everyone that's listening to this, but what figure is it for you? What would you like to make in profit this year? But let's just rephrase that question a little bit. Rather than saying what would you like to make, how much do you plan to make this year? Because that's a different question, isn't it? How much do you plan to make compared to what would you like to make? What would you like to make is a bit pie in the sky. I hope I'm going to make that. What you plan to make is something much different, isn't it? It's a bit more solid and a bit firm. And I'm a big believer in whatever gets measured gets managed. If we can measure it, if we can put a plan in place and measure the process, then we can manage things in order to bring that plan to fruition. So what I've got today for you is a tool that I want to be able to share with you that can help you measure and manage and plan the process out. So you can actually predict how much profit you're going to make in your business for the year. So this is going to be really useful for you. So let me just show you this spreadsheet that I've developed. I call this the growth calculator. So just coming over to here, just looking at the growth calculator, the first thing we want to do is come down to this bottom figure, and this is how much profit we want to make in the year. So we don't touch this column, but we're just going to look at it for now, and we can see that a figure in there is of £75,000, which is simply 10% of our annual turnover for the year. So what we're going to look at first of all is just think about our net profit percentage. So for you, maybe it's 8%, maybe it's 10%. I don't know what your net profit percentage is, but we'll just leave that at 10% for now because it's nice and easy to work out. And I just want you to think about what is the total amount you want to earn in profit this year. So let's go with a figure of £150,000. That's a nice figure to go for. So let's say you want to earn 150 grand in your business this year. For all that hard work you do, you probably deserve that, maybe more. So first of all, we're going to come up to month one and enter into here what your current starting turnover is per month. So maybe on average you're doing, let's just leave that figure in, £65,000 per month on average each month. Then what we want to do is come over to our goal amount, and we're going to think about what is our goal for our total turnover for the year. So maybe you're at £65,000 a month, so that's what's that, about 750, 800 grand turnover a year. And you're going to think, right, do you know what? That's not enough. I want to hit 1.2 million in sales. So we're going to go 1.2 million at the top. And what this does, it populates how much we then need to turn over each month. So you might look at this and think, do you know what? That's quite realistic. I can jump from 65 to 69 and then to 75 and to 80. And month on month, they don't look like massive increases, do they? But once you start getting to some of these bottom figures, it can look a little bit more daunting. So maybe you're looking at that and thinking, wow, yeah, 1.2 million, maybe that's a stretch for you this year. Or maybe you think, no, I can do that. I'm going to hit that this year. But what's interesting is we said, what is the bottom line figure? What is the profit we're going to make? So you notice at the bottom, if we keep a 10% margin, we're going to make £120,000 profit for the year. Now you said you wanted to make £150,000, so it's not enough, is it? So we need to manipulate these figures a bit so we can, again, measure and manage the process. Because if we go like this, we're not going to make it. So what do we need to do? Well, there's a few different figures we can manipulate. We can manipulate our total turnover. So maybe we look at that and think, do you know what? 1.2, I could easily hit 1.2, so I'm going to stretch myself and go for 1.5 million. So maybe you could do that, and clearly we're at 10% profit, so we're gonna hit the 150 grand for that year. Or maybe you keep it at the 1.2 and think, no, do you know what? 1.2 is about right. I don't want to stretch my team too much. That's what I can handle. And what we then need to do is manipulate our net profit percentage. So we can do that by cutting our overheads or increasing our gross profit margins. There's a few ways of doing that, and I've done other videos on this. But let's say we do our our net profit margin, and we think, you know, I think I can get that up to, let's say 13%. I can get it from 10 to 13. There you go. If we do that, if we get 13%, a 3% increase, we now achieve your £150,000 or £156,000 profit for the year. So how is that? Is that useful as a growth calculator? It really gets you to visualize, doesn't it, what you need to do every single month, month on month, in order to hit that figure. So that can be really useful because now you've got a clear plan in place on how you're going to do it. Is it realistic or is it achievable? Well, have a look at that and see what you think. But then we want to go a little bit further than that and think about our long-term goals. What is our goal? That's year 1. What's our goal for year 5 and year 10 as we go through things? Well, the growth calculator tackles that too. If we come into this, so let's say we've started at, where did we start? 1.2 million, wasn't it? So we hit 1.2 million in year 1. That's our starting amount. And let's imagine in year 3, we want to hit 2.5 million. And then year 5, we want to hit 5 million. Year 7, we want to hit 8 million. Let's say year 10, let's just make it easy. We'll go for 10 million. Click the button, annual growth calculator. And there you can see what you need to increase year on year in order to get to your £10 million a year business. So 1.2 in the first year, 1.7 in year 2, 2.5. And you can manipulate these figures and predict the profit that you're going to make in your business year on year. So I hope you find that useful, that growth calculator. Let me just switch my screen. This has been absolutely essential for my businesses. I do this every single year, plan it out, especially if we're coming up to either the end of the year or a new tax year. It's a great time to start, stop, refresh, and think about what you want to earn and actually plan it, put a proper plan in place in order to do it. So I do it for my businesses, and then every month, I just tick it off and go, yep, I've hit it or I've surpassed it, and I write the new figure in. And it's just so satisfying to see that business growth and that you're hitting your goals. And we do this with my clients, and it's great to see them hitting their goals too and surpassing it so that they can hit their profit margins that they've predicted for the year. So I hope that's helpful for you. And if you'd like to talk about how we can ensure and put a proper plan in place for your business so you can hit your yearly targets and your profit turnover targets, well, reach out and I'll be really happy to help you put a plan in place and take your business to the next level.